Hello everyone and welcome along. It's Betting Weekly Game Bet Match, the number one tennis betting podcast and YouTube show brought to you in association with Bet Rivers, your hometown sportsbook. I am Nigel Seeley, and as per usual, and every time the same intro, I'm delighted to say, joining me is our senior ATP Tour handicapper, it's Sean Calvert. Good afternoon, Sean. You was at the tennis yesterday.
I was.
How's it going? How's it going? You must be happy now. A bit of tennis, bit of sun's coming out. British summer's coming. It's good times.
It was all right, yeah. You know, let's not go mad. It was quite good actually. I mean, I think on the match didn't do so well on the outrights. On the match bets that I put up, I think the bets and leans are pretty much all won. Apart from that one, of course, I was watching Jordan Thompson against Holger Rune, wasn't I? On centre court, sat next to all the usual tennis crowd, the ladies of a certain age spilling their pims all over
my mother
the place.
and all her friends.
Yeah, they probably were there as well. Well, if they were spilling pims and beer on people, then they were in row X next to me. And of course, Jordan Thompson won the match. I had him to win the first set. Lost the first set. That didn't make me happy, but yeah, it was all right. It was quite good. When you go there on Thursday, you went there last year, didn't you? I was there with you last year, wasn't I?
Yes, we were. We lost loads of money. We drank loads of drink.
Yeah, it was surprisingly seamless to get in. I got there early, got in. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's a decent tournament. Wasn't too many matches on a Monday, but I'm going again tomorrow, so I think I'll have quite a lot more to look at tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going on Thursday. You better follow my action on the Bet Rivers Instagram account and on Twitter at Because We Win. I'll be there on Thursday. Unfortunately, for me, I can't eat stuff. I've got to go in for an operation, or sort of a medical issue.
Procedure
on Saturday, which I've got the to-do list today. And basically, you can't do anything. You can't eat anything. You can't drink anything. 4 days before.
5 days seems a lot. It's normally 24 hours or like 12 hours or something like that, isn't it? Obviously not on this occasion. So your fun has been curtailed.
Absolutely. I have plans for tomorrow evening. Unfortunately, tomorrow, we're going to say it now at the top of the show. Tomorrow night, Sean will be at the tennis, as you can follow it on the Instagram. I will be at a concert, which I mentioned a couple of times in the show. So we'll be back on Thursday, providing that my to-do list allows me to come onto a podcast on Thursday. I've got to go.
I think medically you're allowed to do it.
Can you?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's just all the things you can do and you can't do, and all the things you're allowed to do, all the boring things and all the good things you want to do, you're not allowed to do.
There you go.
Anyway,
that's life.
Health comes first, but we'll be back on Thursday rather than Wednesday. I mention it again at the bottom of at the end of the show here because it's very important. There'll be no podcast tomorrow. But let me tell you one thing: what about all these extra views we've been getting, and all these comments, and all these fantastic subscribers that are coming along? I know Euro 2024 has been exceptional in terms of numbers coming through, but really, really encouraging on the amount of people with Wimbledon just around the corner, Sean. So thank you very much if you've followed the site or followed the channel. Really, really appreciate you coming along or downloaded the podcast. Thank you very much indeed for all your extra comments and all these people. A lot of them critical, a lot of them having a go at us, but it's nice to have some numbers.
Well, there you go. Such is life, you do the job that we do. You say this person's probably going to win this bet, and and it doesn't happen. Some people are going to moan about it. That's life, unfortunately.
It is, and hopefully today we're steering some action. But the leans are doing good. I mean, one thing I had a question for you today, Sean. I mean, a lot of people have mentioned we've spoken about a lot of these players today, and we said, Jordan Thompson was one of them. Harris was another one who played again today. A lot of people have asked me, like, why doesn't Sean take the money line? Why doesn't he take the player on the money line? If you think he's going to take the first set, why would you not take the money line? Is there any reason behind that kind of thinking of you?
Yes, I mean, the reason was that I expected Jordan Thompson to be much more acclimatised to the grass than Holger Rune. I expected him to start quickly, whereas Rune I would have expected to start a little slower in his first grass match of the season. And the same applies in the Harris match. The Harris 1-1. The point with Thompson was I wasn't sure that he was going to have the level to win over the best of 3 sets. In the end, he did. The point of that one was that he was better prepared. I expect him to be better prepared. Same with Harris. That's the reason. I wouldn't necessarily do that very often, but when players are switching surfaces and one player's had a bit of experience on it in the previous days on a match court and the other guy hasn't, then you would expect the one who's acclimatised to start quicker. That was the reasoning for that.
That's the reason for it. Most of the reasoning makes very good sense. And just the reason why they did. But if you took the money line, fantastic, great play.
Yes, there's no problem, is it? If they took the money line anyway, then
and they were both big. They were both big underdogs, and they both cashed. So it's good. But the reasoning there is what you've asked the question. So I've just you've answered the question for me. So let's move on to tomorrow's action, and we have 3 matches in Halle, and we have 1 over in Queens. We're going to start off with in Germany with Dominik Koepfer against Artur Fils. Minus 148 Artur Fils, plus 118 for Koepfer. Koepfer really done us no favours, didn't he? He come through against Auger Aliassime. We gave a lean towards Koepfer. We bet him plus 3.5 games. And then the match was void because obviously Auger Aliassime retired when he was in such a commanding position.
It never goes the other way, does it? We're losing and it gets voided. That never happens.
I think it does, but I just think we just don't remember it.
You don't remember them. I think I would. I'm pretty sure that I don't remember the last time I had a lucky retirement from a guy. I'd got the bet wrong or whatever. The bet wasn't winning for whatever reason, and the other guy retired, and I've got let off the hook. It has happened, obviously, but not often, unless I've got a selective memory, which is possible.
When it comes to money, people always remember those bad beats. It's like cashing out. You always remember when you cash out and you take your cash out.
I don't do that very often.
Well, a lot of people play parlays and with Bet Rivers that they offer the cash out service. You take the cash out, and you never ever remember the ones that you took your money and you were lucky. But you always remember the one. If I didn't cash out, I would have won X amount of dollars.
That's just the mind of a bettor, isn't it?
It's a mind of a bettor. So Anyway, Artur Fils, how he won against Mahak today. I mean, Mahak was demanding, absolutely in control in the first set, and then he obviously had chances in set 2 as well and lost in straight sets. So Artur Fils is the man who faces Dominik Koepfer. If we look at the odds here, Fils is minus 148, Koepfer is plus 118 in front of his home crowd. The spread is 1.5, minus 1.5 for Fils is minus 113. Koepfer plus 1.5 is also minus 113, and the total here is 23.5 games with over minus 103, under minus 124. A whole host of markets available with the BetRivers website. And again, it's an early start. We'll come back to the times a little bit. But interested in your thoughts on this one, because Artur Fils, we had a little bit of a negative on the faster grass court service. We didn't have him down as a player that was going to do anything. But he won the games with Mahak. Fortunate, or was Mahak just didn't play the big points?
Mahak was awful in the bits that I saw. I was expecting him to go well in this tournament because I liked his game for grass, but didn't produce it, did he? At all. It's dreadful, especially on return. He was all over the place. Just looked like he hadn't prepared properly. Not convinced by Artur Fils on grass or against left-handers, which is probably more important. Fils against left-handers at main level, 4-6 win-loss. So he's got a losing record against lefties at this level. His best win over a lefty, according to ranking, was against number 94 in the world, Stricker, Dominic Stefan Stricker, at the Next Gen. The end of season knockabout that the younger players have. That's his best ranking win against left-handers. So for me, he's got question marks against him against left-handers. He's lost some matches that you wouldn't have expected him to lose against lefties. So there's a big question mark there. As far as him on grass is concerned, he's 2-3 win-loss so far. That win against Mahak, good for him, but it wasn't great. There was nothing much coming back from Mahak in the parts that I saw. I didn't see the first set, admittedly, but the second set, it didn't look good at all. I've said before, Koepfer is really good at redirecting the pace that comes at him from big servers, and I feel like this left-handed matchup will work well for him against Fils. Fils does like to serve big. Koepfer is good at handling big servers a lot of the time. Plus, the factor that Koepfer, I feel like he's going to be more highly motivated here than Fils. Fils is likely to see this, as a lot of players are, as a tune-up for Wimbledon. Koepfer, don't think he'll see it like that. He'll try and go as far as he can. Having just beaten Felix, all right, it was a retirement, but he was well ahead at the time, so you wouldn't say it was a lucky victory. So I'd have this closer to 50-50, personally. I think Fils is some way too short, minus 148, so just keep it simple. Koepfer on the money line here, plus 118 with Bet Rivers.
Plus 118, Koepfer on the money line. That is also a price that is being bet. There was a negative towards Fils here. Koepfer is obviously being bet. He's German. In Germany, Fils, not really a youngster, hasn't really done much on grass. And we're giving the more experienced player, Koepfer, the bet here at plus 118. That's going to be our first official play?
Yeah, I think there's some value there, yeah.
Okay, so our first official play. Head across to the BetRivers website to see the order of play, to see what time these matches start. I'll give you the rough idea. I'm not quite sure whether they're going to be announced tonight, but I reckon around about 7 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Head across there, and already there's 29 different markets available on the BetRivers website. And if you don't want to get up, you can bet live and watch live with BetRivers. Watch the match from your tablet or your mobile device, or also your home computer. Next match: Hubert Hurkacz -$7. James Duckworth plus 450. We have a fantastic record when we get involved in the polls matches, so I'm interested to see what you're going to say here. The spread here is 3.5. Hurkacz giving up 3.5 -125. Duckworth receiving 3.5 -110. Total 22.5 with the under evens and the over -137. Whenever you see Hurkacz matches, the first thing you have to do is draw yourself towards total games or towards tie breaks or towards anything like that. He's up against an opponent, though, in Duckworth, who is in good form. I've told you this on this show before, that I like Duckworth, and he's played 10 matches on grass this year, won 8 of them. And he's a proven player on grass, and he's seeing a little bit of nibbles in the market. He beat Fonseca today in straight sets. He got to the he come through qualifying in 2 matches, got to the Stuttgart quarterfinal, got beat by Berrettini there. But Hurkacz, this is his second match. He beat Caboli, but struggled. We suggested over the games in there that cashed.
Yeah, that was an official pick. I think we won on that one.
That was an official pick, and I just look at his price here, and I think Duckworth can give him some problems. What's the best angle of attack here?
I think you've already summed it up, mate. I don't think you need me for this bit, do you?
No, you've got
Another tricky one for Hurkacz expected. As you said, he edged past Caboli 7-5, 7-6. Looks like another long one expected here. I mean, you've already said it. Duckworth's playing well this grass swing, 8 out of his 10 matches. Quarterfinals in Stuttgart. When they met before, the only time they met, Duckworth took Hurkacz all the way to 7-5 in a decider on indoor hard in Paris. And he won 60% of second serve points that day, Duckworth, so he was by no means outmatched. The edge, as ever, with Hurkacz was his brilliant serve. That's won him that match. It'll probably win him this match, but I can't imagine it'll be easy. Hurkacz's last 10 matches on grass, this is where all the stats come in handy here. He only wins 31.9% of return points, and he breaks serve just 11.6% of the time. Hence why he's playing all these tie breaks. Holds an awful lot, doesn't break, doesn't really get into the return game as often enough, like he didn't again against Caboli. So 10 of Hurkacz's last 14 best of 3 set matches on grass have gone over 23.5 games. So 71% of his last 14 best of 3 matches on this surface have gone over 23.5. What's the line here? 20. I haven't got it on my screen. What is it? Is that
20? It's 22.5. 22.
Okay.
But it's minus 137 though.
Yeah, I mean 23.5. I imagine will be closer to
Minus
evens.
110.
I should think. It's difficult, this one, because these matches have just, a lot of these players have just finished playing today, so we haven't got all the lines, because the lines kind of come out in little dribs and drabs, don't they? So we haven't got all the lines, unfortunately. Just talking about Duckworth against big servers, the big servers in my database anyway. Duckworth he's got a good record, 5-5 win-loss, 2-2 on grass. So he's not been bullied by the big servers. And if you look what Duckworth's done this grass swing in Stuttgart and Halle, the 2 main level tournaments that he's played, including qualies, he's L-served 95% of the time, which is obviously massive. And like Hurkacz, doesn't break that much, only broken serve 10% of the time. So you'd struggle to find a game, well, we're probably going to talk about one later actually, that's more leaning towards overs than this one. We haven't got all the lines, which is kind of annoying, but the bet's got to be overs, hasn't it? Over 23.5. As I've said, 71% of Hurkacz's matches on grass, his last 14 anyway, go over. So I think that's a bet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think the first set tiebreak could be an angle.
I just haven't seen the odds for that. I
think there's a lot of angles. All the angles actually have to be sort of focused around the total games. I mean, we're recording this now at around about 6:30 UK time, which is like 1:30 Eastern time, and the matches aren't finishing yet. So wait till the BetRivers markets come up, concentrate on the total games, look at the overs in first set, look at tie breaks in first set, look at tie breaks in the match. But every betting angle has to be on the total games here in Hurkacz v Duckworth. Duckworth is a proven player who's playing exceptionally well, and Hurkacz has probably one of the most powerful serves and one of the better returns of your investment if you're betting tiebreaks than anyone on the ATP Tour. Okay, moving on to our final match over in Halle. It's Jan-Lennard Struff. One of our picks to win the tournament is minus 590 against Luciano Darderi, plus 410. The spread is 3.5, minus 188 Lennard Struff, minus 3.5, which is very heavy. So 4.5 will probably be around about minus 110. Darderi plus 3.5 is minus 138. Total 21.5 here with over minus 105. Under minus 105 and over minus 122. I would suggest here that you're looking towards the game angles rather than the spread angles, because we've got our pick on Struff here. We want him to win. We're looking good for him. And Darderi is someone who's only ever played in his career 2 grass court matches, and he was not very good in those matches. So I would think
I've got 3, but it's a similar point. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that Struff would probably be the bet, but I'm trying to guess where you're going to go, and I'm thinking maybe overs, first set overs. But I'm interested in your angle on this match.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a great deal of choice on some of the matches, did we? Because of the odds and the time that we're recording this. But, I mean, Struff should win this with something to spare. He really should. I mean, they've been kind to him, the tournament here, which is no surprise because this is his home tournament. He was born about an hour away from Halle, was Struff. He's not got a great record here, actually. In fact, he's got a very poor record, 3-13 win-loss at this tournament, which isn't fabulous at all by any means. He's had some very tough draws here, by the way. One of the 3 wins was against Medvedev. So he's had some poor results here. But he's a different player now. You know, now that he's won a title and at home in Germany, and just generally you can see by his demeanour, he's a different player to the guy that lost some of those matches that he perhaps should have won here in years gone by. But he was ill last week in Stuttgart. He played a couple of matches, got to the quarterfinals, had to withdraw for an illness. The tournament have obviously let him have extra time. This will be the last first round match to be played, so that's why that hasn't been played yet. Darderi, I mean, he won a clay challenger a few days ago in Perugia, so he's not been practicing on the grass, that's for sure. I've got him down as having played 3 grass matches in his career. The last one, I think he lost to Martera in Wimbledon qualies. Quite easy. Won the first set, actually, but then faded away pretty badly. But very little experience. You're coming in here in fast conditions he's very much not used to. And he's playing a guy who, in his last 10 main-level matches on grass, 70% win rate, Struff, service points 110 points, won a total of 104, and 93% holds of serve. It should all be too much for Darderi in these conditions. So if you're going to play this, I think Struff under 12.5 player games at plus money, 2.2, which basically means Struff's got to win 6-something, which I think he'll do. Or if you want to do it the other way, under 21.5 games at minus 104, I think he should dismiss Darderi here.
I was thinking you might go for the other way because it's very unlike you to go for these heavy favourites to win easy. So I think that's the tip
I didn't
in
have a great
itself,
deal of choice on the matches. So
I know.
Unfortunately,
but yesterday on Instagram, you gave a couple of favourites as well, Dimitrov.
They both won.
And I think it's unlike you to go for these favourites. And when you tip a favourite, I think that's a tip in itself. So if you're going to go for Jan-Lennard Struff under him, maybe 2 sets it up. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, no, I don't just go. People probably ask you, why do I always go for underdogs? I don't always go for underdogs. It's just that the matches I choose are the ones that I see the most value in, and generally speaking, they're underdogs. But sometimes you can play favourites and you can do it a certain way. Like the Dimitrov Manarino match, I expected Dimitrov to win that pretty comfortably, so I just went for 0 tiebreaks, under half a tiebreak, 1.66. I thought that was the best way to play it. As it happened, that won easily. And the other Instagram tip that I put up, Raonic, I just fancied him to beat Norrie. I couldn't see Norrie winning that match. As it happens, it was a lot tighter than I thought. And that was the match I was talking about. So I thought that was the way to play it. So I don't always bet underdogs. It's just I like to get value for money. I like to get back more than I'm putting on generally. But it's not always possible.
Yep, it's not always possible, but on this occasion, Sean likes the favourite, which is I believe is a little bit of a tip for you. Okay, let's move across to London in Queen's Club. Sean, you've been there for the last couple of days. Well, you were there yesterday. You're there tomorrow. You'll probably watch this match. You'll be able to follow Sean's adventures in Queen's Club on our Instagram account at Because We Win. I'll be there on Thursday, and we've got a very, very interesting match here. Taylor Fritz against Milos Raonic, two of the biggest servers in the game. Fritz is minus 175, Raonic is plus 138. It's an America against Canada clash. The spread is 1.5, minus 125 for Fritz. Giving up 1.5, Raonic receiving 1.5, minus 110. And the total here is 23.5. I expect it to be 25.5. Minus 137 for over. Under 23.5 is evens. I don't think I have. Let me find out. I've got the headset in front of me. I've got it on a different.
There isn't one.
Find it.
Never
met each other. I would have thought they would meet each other at least 3 or 4 times. Incredible.
I don't think so, unless I've got this horribly wrong. Pretty sure they haven't.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. No. I thought they would have done.
No, they haven't. So I watched Raonic, obviously, at Queen's Club the other day. I think I said in my Instagram piece beforehand, he's serving as well as ever, and he broke the record, didn't he, for most aces in a 3-set match. 47 aces. I think he beat Ivo Karlovic's previous record, which was at Halle. 47 aces in 3 sets. 85% first serve points won. 100% holds of serve. Business as usual for Milos Raonic on grass. The question is, can his body hold up? We'll have to wait and see. He's looking all right at the moment, but there's always that thought, isn't there, in the back of your mind that at some point something's going to go wrong. The trainer's going to come on, and the next thing he's not going to be able to do what he does so well. In 2024 main level away from clay, I've just compared their stats, Fritz and Raonic. They're both exactly the same in terms of service points won and return points won, both on 106. So very evenly matched on that. And if you look at their last 10 matches on grass at main level, it's actually slight advantage to Raonic. 106 again, his service points won and return points won total against 104 for Fritz. He had a poor old grass swing last year. Fritz didn't play well at all. Doesn't generally play well at Queens. I think he might have made the doubles final once, but singles-wise, he's not generally gone too well here, but I'm sure that'll change at some point. And if we look at what Fritz did today against Taro Daniel in round 1, very similar numbers, 83% first serve points won, and again, 100% holds of serve. So I'm just looking at the lines here. Over 23.5 is minus 137. Yeah, that's not much of a surprise. It feels inevitable, doesn't it, that there's going to be a tiebreak or two here. But for me, if you play in this match, and I probably will have a little something on it if it's on tomorrow and I can get to watch it, because obviously I'll be there. I feel like Raonic has got to win the first set just because of the condition of his body, his fitness issues. I think he dropped the first set, didn't he, against Cam Norrie? Pretty sure he did.
Yes, he did. Tiebreak.
Yeah. I can't see him coming back to win another long match again so soon. I mean, it was 2 hours 15 minutes. It wasn't that long, but when you're Milos Raonic and you've had all the injury problems that he's had, that's quite a decent workout. I feel like he's got to win the opening set. Raonic, I can't see him winning this match if he doesn't. So I think potentially the value here, it's almost certainly going to go to a tiebreak. Raonic, I like his tiebreak record slightly better on grass than Fritz's. So plus 120 about Raonic winning the first set, I think is the play here. People are going to ask me why now, aren't they? Why winning the first set?
I think this bet really does that warrants that bet, because we questionable the Raonic fitness, and you've answered it perfectly in your analysis of the match. So I completely get the understanding, but the question was before, was a young player, did you have the conviction of him being able to hold his nerve, playing in front of a home crowd, win the first set?
No,
blah, blah, blah.
If you're talking about Harris, not really.
Yeah, well, that was the question. Well, I can completely get the argument of betting someone to win the first set rather than the money line when they're around it, who's come through 2.5 hours of all these injuries. But the question, what was asked to me was, why would you not bet? If you're thinking he's going to win the first set and he's plus 110 in a match, he could trade 230, 220, and then give you a trading opportunity. That was the question was right.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't put those sort of bets in, can I? I can't sort of say trade off and whatever. It's Obviously, the profit and loss has to be a...
I totally get the reason behind taking the first set on Raonic. Anyway, some of these win, some of them don't. But it's the way we play, and you've done this a long, long time, and this is the way with the strategy that we use on this show to make money, and we are making money. We're 5.47 units up on the year. There'll be plenty more to come to that year. Rory's doing well, 6.75 units. I think it's 200 to 1 shot. And Rory loves a 200 to 1 shot. She got bowed out today. Angelika Kerber on the outright
So did
market.
mine. Big price one.
Yeah. Mahak was a loser today. So, Sean, just one thing before we go. I didn't really ask you at the beginning. The weather's turning a bit in the UK. Is any sort of thinking about total games? Anything like going to be good days? The weather conditions. Courts playing the same speed as what we would expect, or is it getting a bit slower, faster, whatever?
It's always difficult to tell in the first couple of days because it does get very, very slippery. Right. Quite a few players complained about it. Halle is normally the one where it's more slippery. You always see players falling over in Halle all the time, slipping over. I saw a few people doing it at Queen's. Rune fell over in, I think it was the first game against Jordan Thompson. He started moaning about the court conditions, moaning to the umpire about that. So it is slippery. As far as the court speed goes, it's difficult to tell from just one day's play, but it looks, as I've said before, I think Queen's is getting slower and slower. I'll have to wait for the stats to sort of find that out. But you got players like Raonic, it doesn't really make any difference. Yeah. As far as the weather's concerned, it looks like it's going to be all right all week, around about 20, 21 and cloudy. So no difference really. The weather doesn't really make a difference.
No difference in the conditions.
In Halle, potentially, when they put the roof on, it's slightly different there. Because the conditions are changeable there. Generally speaking, when they put a roof on, it makes it easier for servers, takes wind out of the equation, takes the sun out of the equation, makes it slightly easier for the big servers. But that's roughly it as far as the weather's concerned.
That's it. No real changes there. The 4 matches we've covered here. 3 in Halle in Germany, 1 at Queen's Club in London. Sean will be over there. Follow him on his Instagram account at Because We Win on our Twitter. It will give you more picks as well from courtside than the matches that we haven't covered in here, because there's going to be loads more matches as the evening progresses available on the betting on the Bet Rivers website. Head across there. There'll be 27 different markets. And the action starts very early, about 6 o'clock a.m. in Halle, and about 7 a.m. Eastern time over in London as well. Sean, just give us a recap of your best picks for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm having the one official play, which is Dominik Koepfer at +118 with Bet Rivers to beat Artur Fils.
Yep, nice bet that. Koepfer +118 in front of his home crowd to beat Fils, who is not that comfortable on grass, regardless of his results so far. Remember to subscribe to Betting Weekly Studios on YouTube. A huge amount of subscriptions coming through. A lot of you getting involved. Thank you very much. Our views are going up and up and up and up, and I can't thank you enough for that. Make sure you click press the bell. Every time there's a bet, you click the bell. Every time a bit of content drops, you will be alerted to it. You won't miss a bet. You won't miss anything here across the world of tennis and on soccer. Talking of soccer, Euro 2024 is hotting up. Loads and loads of big good shows on there. There's a good show coming now. The best bets on Group Match 2. We had a huge amount of you watching Group Match 1. Now the boys are giving the best bets on Group Match 2. Who's going to be the team that progresses? The future markets are looking quite good. Everything will be covered here throughout the tournament. It ends on July the 15th. Also, Wimbledon's coming up as well. And we have you covered over everything at Wimbledon. So a huge amount of content. And finally, give us a follow on them socials at Because We Win. On Instagram and also on Twitter. Sean will be at the tennis tomorrow. I'll be at the tennis on Thursday. And you will see something you've never seen at a tennis tournament. Nigel Seeley drinking water and Coca-Cola, because I'm not allowed to have a beer.
I do that all the time at the tennis.
I know it's different for you, but it's for me. I like a little beer watching the tennis in the sunshine. It's going to be a hard graft for me. But anyway, that's it for today. Good luck with your bets. We're back on Thursday. Remember that Thursday, not tomorrow. Thursday we'll be back looking at all the best bets on the world of tennis. Have a good day. Take care and cash some tickets.